very passionate about helping women with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one you had envisioned for yourself. Excuse me. I have another cold because, why not? But home workouts, I am very passionate about my fitness. But I got to tell you, I don't see myself ever going to a gym regularly again. I mean, maybe, but doubtful. Why? Well, people used to ask me, how can you get motivated to work out at home? Because I lived most of my life in Alaska. And if I'm not willing to get up and press play within the warmth and comfort of my own home, what do you think my odds are of getting into the car and going out into 30 below morning, pitch black, to drive to a gym? It ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. That being said, I am very dedicated. I exercise. In fact, I have a hard time taking rest days. I know I should. I know all the reasons. Don't lecture. I'm aware. Um, but it's hard for me to take a rest day for a multitude of reasons. Anyway, let's talk about why you should consider home workouts. This information is from Mind Body Green. Number one, it's literally the best no judgment zone. You're in the privacy of your own home. Now, I like to dance. Um, I can wear whatever I want. Some days I come out here and I'm in a really ratty t-shirt and sometimes ratty leggings. Now, other times I'm always in leggings. Other times I'm in nicer leggings and a sports bra and my belly dancing hip scarf. It just depends, but I'm not going to go to the gym in my hip scarf. Okay, granted, I don't do anything but dance in my hip scarf, but you get the point. You can wear whatever you want to. Nobody's going to judge you. And when I still have plenty of weight to lose, but I've lost 50 pounds from my heaviest. There is no way on God's green earth I would have walked into a gym at that weight because I've never understood why people get catty and bitchy about a heavy person at the gym. That's the person who's trying. You should be encouraging them, not trying to embarrass them, not saying catty little comments, certainly not putting their damn picture up on the internet like we've all seen people do. And another reason I like to exercise at home for my particular situation, given my health circumstances, my capabilities vary wildly. It's embarrassing. It's awkward. Like just this morning, I'm dancing and I was stiff in a different place. And this particular move that I'm really familiar with, it's usually something I don't even have to think about. It was hard. It was really hard this morning. I would have been very self conscious in a class full of people who know where I'm usually at. I didn't explain that well, but you get my point, I hope. But it does. I know I shouldn't care what other people think, but it is embarrassing. Make it that what you have to, I suppose. Reason number two, you can listen to your music as loudly as you'd like. You don't need to wear earbuds. You don't have to worry about somebody else's music. And if you're a TV person, you get to control the channel. Number three, all that equipment, it's really not necessary. I mean, sure, you can buy a couple of small things to set up a pretty decent home facility. Get a bench for maybe 50, $60, probably used. I don't know what they go for new anymore because I don't lift. But you can buy a decent set of weights for fairly reasonable. And you can set up a really functional home gym. But think about it. Even if you're going to the big fancy facility, you get the whole room full of toys. And how much of that stuff are you actually using? I'm not asking you what other people use. What do you use? You don't need all that. Excuse me. You can do body weight exercises, and they're plenty challenging and effective. Number four, as a dancer, this one is special to my heart, but dance like no one is watching because they're not. Again, this is a judgment free zone. Look, fitness connects us to our spirit. It just does. And dancing is such a good way to express that. I don't want to express that around anybody else. I try to explain to people it's a very intimate thing for me. That's an extremely personal thing for me. I don't want anybody in the room. I don't want I don't want their energy interrupting my energy. I get so into it. And, for me specifically, when I dance, it doesn't make my pain go away by any stretch, or I do it as like nonstop. But I love it enough. I'm passionate about it enough that I can mostly set the pain aside until, I try to do a move that I'm really good at and I can't because the way my stiffness is presenting on a given day. But it really allows me a mental escape that I don't get from anything else. And, it doesn't have to be dance. I don't get this way from lifting weights, but I know a lot of people who do. And you'll either understand that or you won't. But it can be such a wonderful escape from the reality. And home workouts, you can try new things. I like to dance. So I've done belly dance, I've done hula, I've done salsa, I've done samba, I've done hip hop, I've done all these things. It would be a lot, it would be a lot harder to try all these different dance styles, especially living in small towns, if I was trying to do it face to face. But I can get online and pull, hey, I think I want to try this, and just go online and I find something. So use, excuse me, use your home workouts. Gosh dang it. Excuse me, use this as an opportunity to explore your interests and see, what you might find something. You might think that you really like a certain form of exercise, but you could be curious about another and find out you love it. I used to do cardio kickboxing. I was really into a format called Turbo Kick because it had a lot of dance elements thrown in. I used to always tell people there was enough punching and kicking for me to deal with any anger or aggression safely and effectively, but there was enough dancing that I didn't want to punch or kick anybody for very long. But I had to give it up because of my health. When my when my adrenals crashed, when my hormone system essentially crashed, because it wasn't just the adrenals, but the doctors told me, you can't do this anymore. It depletes you more than you're capable of recovering from. I was devastated. What the hell am I going to do now? So instead of sitting here feeling, not exercising was never an option for me. So instead of just sitting here feeling sorry for myself, I got online and I started exploring different things until I found not just a form of exercise that A, works for my health situation, B, I enjoy, but C, I found an instructor that I really resonate with and I love her to pieces. She's so cool. She lives in Australia and we talk back and forth, excuse me, fairly often through her Patreon page. And she's so sweet. I get shout outs in her videos a lot. Hey, this should feel really good, Courtney. Hey, when you're doing this, Courtney, I hope this feels good on your back. Or just hi. Uh-huh. She's even written an entire choreography with my health situation in mind. Do you think many people face to face are going to do that? And I think really online, I have a very different opportunity to get to know Elisa because I'm not just a face in a crowd. I'm one of the crowd of her online people, but I'm on the message board on her Patreon. There's not a whole lot of us who are active on there. So I have a relationship with her that I probably wouldn't have face to face. Anyway, sorry. I really, really like my belly dance teacher, in case you couldn't tell. And finally, number 5, should exercise at home because it's just, well, frankly, exercise anywhere. It's the best damn me time on the planet. Women particularly, I can't speak to men, I don't know. But women, I know we have so much pressure to put everybody else's needs ahead of our own. I would assume men are that way because they certainly have their own pressures, a lot of them. Um, but exercising for that chunk of the day, whether it be 30 minutes or an hour, I'm focused on me. I'm focused on what I want and what I need. The world can wait a little bit. And if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. So set aside a little quality me time and get off your ass and exercise. And if you're under a lot of stress, which a lot of us are these days, sometimes when we exercise, emotions really come bubbling up. I know when my mom passed and when my aunt passed, that was very true. I would be in the middle of a workout and all of a sudden I'd find myself in the floor just sobbing. Do you know how mortifying that would have been in a big class? But I was here alone. I cried it out, pulled myself back together, rewound the video, and just picked it back up. Many years ago, a good friend of mine, I doubt he's going to say this, but hey, Craig, um, he asked me, does it bother you when people give you excuses why they don't exercise? And it's none of my business if you exercise or not. Obviously, it's really not. That's your call. It's your body. You're the one that has to deal with it. But to come at somebody like me with health issues up to my freaking eyeballs and give me, I'm sorry, but whiny ass excuses why you don't exercise, I don't have tolerance for that. Just own it. If you don't want to take care of yourself, own it. But don't come at me with excuses. And you know what keeps me from making a lot of excuses? I know of a guy who modified the crap out of P90X and completed it from a wheelchair. If he can do it, how the hell, who am I to make up an excuse? Yeah, I hurt. You know what? I'm going to hurt whether I exercise or not. Yes, I have to cater my fitness to my health situation. But again, for that window of time, I'm in control. I'm not a victim to my circumstances. I'm not just being swept along by the weather, I'm so crazy sensitive to barometric pressures. Winter has started, just shocking. Winter has come to central Alaska. It's snowing. It's been snowing since yesterday. I'm freaking miserable. But when I danced this morning, I had about an hour where the misery just faded away. And I tell you what, if I could figure out a way to capture that feeling and share it with others, I'd be a freaking trillionaire. I'd be so rich, it'd be just disgusting. I'd be so rich, I could buy Twitter from Elon Musk. Not that I would have any interest in that, but anyway, everybody wants a shortcut to feeling better. There's not one. Trust me. I've been fighting health issues. Oh, see, and there I go again. I'm trying so hard to take a softer approach to my health issues, but I have been fighting this stuff for a long time. And if I could go back of all the crazy things that I've been through in my life, if I could go back and do one thing over, I would have started taking care of my body a long freaking time ago. Anyway, I'm climbing off my soapbox. My best friend has been in town, which has been such an amazing blessing. But unfortunately, she goes back home tomorrow. But she's on her way over here now to pick me up to go to lunch. So I hope y'all have a wonderful afternoon. Send warm thoughts.